one, 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 one.
LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network.
One. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to one-on-one at LegacyMaker Sports Network.
Hello, everybody. Darrell Owens, LegacyMaker Sports Network, and welcome to another edition of One-on-One here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network with yours truly. And this is episode 29. And today with me, I have my man, Chip Brierre, the man, myth, and the legend that is handling things. He just got a new gig out there in the Washington sports world as he is the host of The Beat for the Washington football team. Chip, how you doing, my friend?
I can't complain. It was raining a lot yesterday outside, but now in my new office in the basement of my new house, I'm pretty comfy in here, so I'm feeling pretty good.
It looks really cozy back there. Like, I feel like you could take a nap and you'd be in really good shape right now.
So the landlords told us that this used to be their guest bedroom, but I turned it into my office and entertainment center. I'm just waiting on the sofa that I can pass out watching football when I'm not watching the Washington football team.
There you go. I like that thought process. All right, everybody. Of course, you know, here on One-on-One, we start with the check-in. So, Chip, I just want to check in on you and your family and how everything has been going during these tough times with COVID. It's been a while, 9 months, and 7 months, I should say. It's been a while, 7 months. And just how have you and your family been dealing with everything that's going on and just dealing with COVID pandemic? How's everything been going?
We're really fortunate, actually. Me and my wife got married in 2019, and right before the pandemic hit. We don't have kids, so that's good. We've only got our dog, so more or less in this household, we've been actually pretty unaffected by it. I will admit, though, I did work for WJLA, and I got let go due to COVID-19, budget constraints. So that's probably the only thing that has really kind of affected me in COVID-19. But other than that, we've been handling it really, really well. And we haven't missed out on life events like so many other people and haven't been affected by anybody in our family testing positive for the virus. So I guess in terms of a report card, I'd give it a B+. We're doing a B+ during COVID-19.
B+ pretty solid. I can't be upset with the B+.
That could be the byline of my college career, B+.
Hey, but B+ is a passing grade.
Bingo.
Exactly. Now, let's kind of dig a little bit into where your passion of sports came from. When was that moment when you were younger that you knew that you wanted to be involved in sports in some form of the fashion?
I knew I wanted to get involved in sports at a young age. If you can barely see it, right up here is the University of Miami football from the 2002 Rose Bowl. All about that year, even though we got spanked by Clemson this past weekend. I was at that game. And at the time, I had gone through a very significant moment in my life of a negative nature at that age. I was at that game. I just become a Miami Hurricanes football fan. I saw that team go out and thrash Nebraska. They were celebrating on the field. The confetti was falling. And I just remember to myself thinking, man, this is a moment in time where I forgot my problems. I forgot what was going on to me emotionally, mentally, and I could just be with my family celebrating that they won a national championship, the 5th in the program's history. And so I knew I wanted to get involved in sports in that moment. Years later, when I went to high school, I was sitting in a snack bar at my high school. We were watching ESPN highlights of Miami versus North Carolina. I was breaking it down, and my friends who don't care are saying, dude, shut up. Like, what? Like, this isn't ESPN. I was like, well, actually, you got a point. And that's when I decided I wanted to get involved in sports journalism, and the rest is history by going to the University of Miami and getting a job in Richmond right out of college.
I think that's funny because, I think a lot of us had that same vibe. You're that person that, oh, that guy knows sports. And I think, even for me, like when I first got started, when I knew I had a friend of mine and all we did was watch SportsCenter all day. We talked about it. We ranked our top 5 SportsCenter anchors. We would sit around and like take the karaoke machine and start recording our intros to, hey, this is Sports Center and we got this going on today and that what got us into that passion. So it's like people don't realize like, oh, that's, if you need something, that's he knows what he's talking about. So you start to get that love for it. It's like, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is what I need to be.
Every time I enter a conversation with my friends, they're always going, what's going on? Who have you talked to? Which teams are you covering? And you don't mean to be the center of the room. It just happens because you are there. You're witnessing history that they just watch on television. So it's like, I don't want to be in this position. My job is just as normal as yours. It just happens to be, I guess, a little harder to get into.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's a little bit outstanding. I mean, we got a little something going on there. I think a lot of people, they talk about it, but then when you get a chance to actually, be about it and, people start to look to you for that information, it makes you feel good inside. Cause I know a lot of people is like, man, well, I saw you at the VCU game the other day. What's going on with the team? And, you start giving them your little insight. It was like, I talked to Coach Rhodes the other day, and it's like, oh, you talked to Coach Rhodes? Yeah, I talked to Coach Rhodes. But for you, when you get a chance to be around people, you kind of be like, well, I'm, not to be snobbish, but you've gotten accustomed to it. You've gotten accustomed to being that person. So
you're just normal. It just feels normal to be in those moments. And so when you go into, I guess, civilian life, we'll call it, like people who aren't in civilian life, they just look at you like you're a rock star and you're the farthest thing from it. You're just a normal dude who drinks Coke Zeros like the rest of them. That's me.
Oh, that's great. So when you decided, you said, okay, sports journalism, that's where I want to be. Obviously, Miami was that heart and soul for you, and you did probably whatever it took to make sure that you went to the University of Miami. But take us through your career, where your journey has went so far from that moment that you entered the University of Miami up until now.
Yeah, so I went to University of Miami with the intention of working for the football team. That was my goal right out of the gate. I thought I was going to be working for the football team and follow that process of being a media person who covers the football team, which is kind of weird because I'm doing that right now. I started as a video coordinator, shooting football practices, shooting football games, running tapes back and forth. And in South Florida, it rains a lot. So there's a lot of rain when you're up there on those scissor lifts and all the lightning and stuff. That was the first 3 years of college, and then I stopped my senior year. During those 3 years, I interned for a bunch of different stations in Miami, CBS, WFOR, and then the ABC station, WPLG. Yeah, I think that's it. Someone could fact check me after this. I know Will Manta, the sports director, is going to tweet something and say, you ruined it.
You destroyed it.
Yeah, that's right. So I did a lot of internships, and in the process of going to college from 2010 to 2014, I was blessed with the opportunity to cover some big events, namely the guy who just won an NBA championship, LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers. He won his first two with the Miami Heat. I got to see both of those as an intern for both stations when they beat the Thunder and when they beat the Spurs. And this is always a story I like to fall back on as one of my, I guess, bread and butter plays is Ray Allen's three-pointer. I was at that game. I was in the tunnel on the side where he shot it. So I saw the ball go into his hands. I saw the shot go up. I didn't see it go in. I just saw the fans just shoot out of their chairs and all of the goosebumps and the hairs just raised on end. And I was like, I think they just won. I think they just forced overtime. And that was the highlight definitely of my college broadcasting career. From there, I got a job at WRIC over there in Richmond for the ABC station, sports reporter, sports anchor. Worked there for 4 years, covered VCU. That's where we met. We met while we were working the beat over VCU, Richmond, Virginia Union, Virginia State, Richmond Raceway, all those good haunts. I love to see those places when I drive through Richmond every now and then.
Right.
And then I left WRIC. I was in between jobs freelancing for 8 months, I want to say, where I was doing some photography for the University of Richmond. I was doing writing for the Richmond Times-Dispatch, freelance, of course, Michael Phillips, the excellent sports editor over there, good friend. And then I got a call from WJLA here in D.C., Keith Abernethy, the executive sports producer. He said, we need help. Please come help us.
We need help, please.
Yes, and then I signed a 3-month deal to go up there and go back and forth in a wedding year to cover Virginia's national championship run, Bryce Harper's return to the Phillies, and little did I know that would be the beginning of a year-long run that included the Washington Nationals 2019 World Series victory from 1931, when they had a 0.1% chance of making it and winning it at 1931. I get very specific, but that's what happens when you have a career like mine. It's such a young age. I'm so honored and blessed that I've had all of these opportunities, and just reflecting on it all with you is it's always a trip. It's always a trip, man.
Well, it's funny because I'm a little bit jealous right now. I've been a Miami Heat fan since 1994. But
Heat lifer, baby.
Heat lifer all day, every day. I'm still mourning after the loss in the NBA Finals. So it's going to take a little bit. But for me, being able to see a team that probably shouldn't have been there in most people's eyes get that far, I'm very proud of them. Pretty sure Pat Riley's going to make some things happen in the next in the next year or so. But really jealous that you were there for that Ray Allen shot. I remember what I was doing at that moment. I was screaming too, but I was at the house running in circles. So that was a completely different dream.
And it was so hard for me because as a media professional, you can't be biased. You can't show emotion. So my instinct is to just do something, but I just let the emotions come over me. I stood still and just made a face of, what just happened?
Like, I was here for that. I mean, it's special, man. I mean, that's the thing. You have to put, you have to put two different hats on because it's hard. You're a sports fan, obviously, to be in the business most of the time. You're 100% of the time you're that way. But then you got to put that, like last night I had to buckle down and say, okay, congratulations to the LA Lakers for winning the 2020 championship. And, I'm, of course, made a post about it, but it hurt. Just a little bit.
Yeah. It always stings. It always stings when the Heat lose, but it's LeBron. It's okay.
It is LeBron. I mean, if it was anybody else,
he was part of the Heat. It's okay. If we had to lose, if they had to lose to someone, I was okay with the big Lakers.
I can deal with that. I'm glad to see with everything that happened this year, especially with Kobe and Gigi. It just kind of like it was almost like it was meant to be at some form.
It did for Kobe. And quickly, just I know a lot of people are saying it. Now I have a platform with a video in my face. NBA. Applause. The bubble was great.
Oh, the phenomenal job. NHL did a pretty decent job too. I think the NHL, even though I think they went to Canada for the NHL. I thought they did a great job. And the other sports, you should probably take a little notice on how they've handled this. This has been pretty solid. It's been pretty solid.
Definitely.
Now, currently, you are the host of the beat for the Washington football team. This team has been through a lot of culture change. I remember last year. Attending games, and we used to talk about culture change, and we've seen a huge culture change for the Washington football team in the last couple of months, truly. But just give us your thoughts on the team in general, how things are going, and just tell us about your new gig.
Yeah, the moment in time to be a part of the Washington football team is really sensational, considering that Julie Donaldson just got picked up to be the senior vice president of media, highest ranking female official in the football team's franchise right now. I know I butchered that, but Julie will tell me later. But just there's this real understanding within the building that things are changing in the building. And I think that is where fans really need to take stock of. Sure, they're really struggling on the field right now. There's a lot of question marks for where the direction of the team is going because it was all summer long. This is a rebuilding year. We're developing our young guys, and now the team wants to win. And I get that. There's this frustration level, but what you have to understand is that Ron Rivera knows what he is doing. And even though it seems like the wrong move right now, getting a division title with how bad the NFC East is right now, considering this is a down year, should be a testament to Ron Rivera if he pulls it off. And this team pulls it off because you have a lot of young guys who just went on this division title quest, completed it, and now they have another year to continue to get better and maybe grab some new guys to bring in and keep that culture going. It's more of a foundational thing for Ron and the franchise to go for this now. So that's just looking on the field, but just being a part of this trend for the for the organization, there's a real push for digital media, and I think that's where the future lies in sports journalism, news journalism, local, national. YouTube, team apps, that is where people are going right now. And I will say this, I don't go to ESPN to watch highlights anymore. I go to the web. I go to the internet. So
I'm the same way. I hate that in a way because you grew up on it.
Right.
But it's like, but that's where it is now. I do the same thing. Everything is like, if I miss something, I can catch it online, still get that same feel that, you had when we were younger watching ESPN.
Right. So it's been a true joy to be a part of this process with the beat, because we have people that can now see a 30-minute show whenever they want, and they can watch it for as long as they want, and they don't have to pay a subscription to get it. They can tune in. We get huge names. We had JP Finley of NBC Sports Washington most recently. We had Andrew Siciliano of NFL Network. Lindsay Theory of ESPN, who covers the Los Angeles Rams. A week prior, we had Kimberly Martin, who is on ESPN. We have Grant Paulson. We had Sal Paolantonio week 1. So we get all these Sal Pal, baby. And he's so funny. He is so funny. Like, I did not know he was that funny. Yeah. Off camera and on camera. He was hilarious. So getting these big names and giving them a platform to just freeform and just have some fun with it, that has been so rewarding, but also so educational. And I've learned a lot from it that I hope to put forward in my career, not just in television stations, but personally in my brand, which is really exciting. So it's been great so far.
Yeah, I mean, I did. It's funny because I watched a little bit of that last episode, and I caught where JP had said about Alex Smith. And it's so funny because I had told
he's going to take a shot.
Yeah, I told my co-host on my podcast, I said, hey, I feel like that if we're going to see Alex Smith, we would see him in the Dallas game. That was just me as my personal thinking. And then I saw him say that. I was like, bro, great minds think alike. I'm glad that he said it. And then obviously we get to see him way before then. But how special that moment, being able to see Alex Smith, come back to the field. I mean, I know it gave me goosebumps because I was there when it happened. On in that Texans game, I was on the field doing photography, and I'll never forget the way the crowd got quiet, the chills, just all you could do is immediately pray and hope for the best for him. And just seeing him go on that field yesterday brought a smile to my heart.
Yeah, it brought a smile to mine as well. And I feel like the crew, the media beat group for the Washington football team, everyone that covers the team regularly, had the idea in the back of their head this could happen for Alex Smith. He was still on the team. He had been cleared by doctors. We saw the documentary, and Ron had come out and said he believes in Alex. The doctors have cleared him. I'll put him out there if I have to. So we knew it was a possibility that it could happen. We were still in disbelief that it could happen because of what he has gone through. Those are two very different things. So when he took the field, it's a shock. It's an incredible achievement. You applaud, you stand up, you get goosebumps. It's just this weird phenomenon where we knew it was coming. We just didn't believe that it was going to happen, and it did. So it was incredible to see him go out there, throw a completion, avoid pressure on the second snap, take a hit, walk off the field. You thought right there, mission accomplished in this day. Even if the Washington football team loses this game, Alex Smith took the field 693 days after that gruesome leg injury. And unfortunately poetic, too, in 2020, of course, that Dak Prescott suffers another gruesome leg injury the same day that Alex Smith comes back. Like, you can't make this stuff up. But in that moment for Alex Smith, it was huge. And now team moves on. They got to get ready for the New York Giants with they said Kyle Allen's going to be the starter. So this is where Ron has to prove the gamble of going for the NFC East Division titles. They need to win these next couple of games.
I think that you made a great point about the division being where it is, and Ron saying, "Hey, if the division, if you're in first place at 2 and 3, Washington could easily be in first place again if Dallas had lost and they could have been right back in the mix, especially with the Eagles losing. They would have been right back in first place. So you have to kind of like, well, all right, we're rebuilding, but we got a chance to make the playoffs here. Let's see what happens. So it's going to be an interesting, couple of weeks as we go along to see if they can make anything happen, especially with the Giants and then Dallas coming in. So let's see how that goes. Absolutely. Now let's head to my favorite segment of the show. It is time for Quick Ones. Are you ready, Chip, for the Chip Brierre edition of Quick Ones?
Let's do it.
All righty. Now, with Quick Ones, we'll tell people you can do one-word answers, but one-word answers are not fun. So it's completely up to you.
I'm going to challenge myself to do one word. I'm going to challenge myself.
You're going to challenge yourself to do one word. All right, here we go.
I'm in.
But I may ask you to explain depending on the answer, so just be ready for that.
That's fine.
All right, here we go. Your favorite sports moment of all time?
2 words, Ray Allen.
Yeah, you ain't have to say anything else, baby, because I'm right there with you. All right, your favorite athlete growing up?
Dwayne Wade.
D-Wade, baby, all day, every day. You can't. Oh, I see.
Flash.
Flash is my guy.
Flash. He was second best finals performance behind Michael Jordan.
Agreed. I don't care what. Nobody can tell me anything different. Nobody can tell me anything different.
The stats prove it. Second best finals performance behind Michael Jordan.
My man D-Wade, baby. That's right. Heat lifer all day. Next one. What is the worst sports moment that you've ever been involved in?
Worst sports moment.
It's a tough one.
2003 Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, Ohio. That's the Ohio State one, correct?
I was at that game.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost that game. That pass in the
I was 12 years old at that game, and I saw Clinton Portis's knee go the wrong way, and I remember looking at my uncle at the time and saying, "Is a leg supposed to do that?" And then the defensive don't even get me started about Terry Porter and the defensive pass interference call,
right?
Because we had celebrated. I was screaming, I was jubilant, I was excited, and all of a sudden, all the Ohio State fans, were looking at me, telling me to bleep myself as a 12-year-old. Thanks, Buckeye fans. And I'm like, what happened? And so we're all just in disbelief, and then we lost. And I cried myself all the way back to the hotel room, and I cried myself to sleep.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that sounds miserable. Oh my God,
that's how diehard of a Canes fan I am.
I remember watching it, and I just, my goodness. Now that you and that fact that you had to go through it that way, I'm so sorry, man. I'm just apologizing out there for.
Thank you. I appreciate it. One. All these years later, I still appreciate it.
Still burns, doesn't it?
The support always. Never forget.
The last one. Give me your top 3 worst foods that you've ever tried.
All right, I'm going to go 3-1 because one's going to shock you. It's going to shock your entire audience.
Okay.
Number 3 worst food I've ever tasted is some Japanese dish that I thought was going to be really good and ended up being pretty gross. Oh, it was like some kind of squid, like actually squid parts, and I thought it was going to be cooked and grilled because like grilled octopus, I've had that. It's actually really, really good.
Right.
Nah, it was just straight up squid. I'm like, nope.
Oh, that doesn't sound good at all.
Nah, I'm just fine. Second thing I've ever tried, I've actually eaten bugs before. I know this is weird. Like I'm going off because like I'm pretty confident about eating anything. Like right. I'll eat pretty much anything. But I was a Boy Scout and Eagle Scout, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack from my wife, who probably eavesdrops and just goes, "Really? Again, you're gonna drop the Boy Scout line?" Yes. And doing one of the merit badges, you had to learn survival for a merit badge. So they're like, you got to eat this bug. I ate the bug. I would do it if I had to, but it doesn't taste great for obvious reasons.
What bug was it? I'm just curious. Was it just
cricket?
Oh man, that's rough.
It is rough. All right. And number 1, this is going to shock you. Just getting you ready. Cereal. Yep.
Cereal? Whoa, wait a minute. Yep. Your worst food you've ever tried is cereal?
I hate cereal with a burning passion.
Like there's no cereal that you like.
It makes me gag, dude. It makes me vomit.
Cereal makes you gag. Wow.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know how to feel about that one because I'm trying to feel.
Nobody knows how to feel about
that. If you'd have said, well, there's a certain cereal that I don't like, and
all cereals
so and so.
And it's weird because I eat the Rice Krispie treats. Like
But
I'll
you
eat
won't eat the
those,
cereal.
but I won't eat the cereal. I think it's a mental thing for me. Like I
So
really think it's a mental thing.
So
for
did you
me.
have a moment?
That's what everyone asked me, and I don't remember having a moment. I think I just started eating when I was with a baby. I didn't eat cereal when I was a kid. I took cereal. I was like, this is gross. Recently, I tried again, and literally, I was like, ugh, and I just didn't. I don't eat cereal. I cannot eat cereal. Period.
That
My
was
kids, when I have them down the road, can eat
Uh-huh.
cereal. My wife eats cereal every morning. I'm fine with it. Like in my pantry. The smell is iffy, but if someone tries to feed me a spoon of cereal, I literally have before slapped the spoon away. It's like, get that away. Like I can't with cereal.
Hey, that's crazy. Okay, that one is. You see, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you were saying it was gonna blow my mind, I said he's gonna say like macaroni and cheese or something. I didn't see cereal. Cereal's like, yeah. If he'd have said, "Oh, I can't stand like Frosted Mini Wheats," okay, I'll give you that. No cereals.
No cereal.
Does that include warm cereal like oatmeal, or is it just regular cereal with milk?
Regular cereal with milk.
Okay.
I'm also not a fan of oatmeal, but because I have to work out. No, because I also have to work out. I am fine with oatmeal. I power through oatmeal with brown sugar and raisins. That's how I get through oatmeal.
I'm just
like
okay,
a lot of brown sugar. A lot of brown sugar.
A lot of brown sugar, man. Okay, all right. Well, that was probably the most unique answer I've had for that one. I've asked that one a couple of times.
So I'm here for.
Yeah, that's solid. Milk is not one I would have seen coming. Mine's is liver. I've had liver once when I was 8, and that was it for me. That was the worst one I've ever had. I can't.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I did try cow testicles before, or bull testicles, I should say. When I was down in Dallas, they called them cow pies. And so they was like, give it a try. So they look like chicken nuggets. And then they come, and viewers, the viewer discretion advised, there's this white sauce. Looks like, I don't know.
Please tell me it's not kickback sauce.
I don't think so. It looks like horseradish or something, but it's just like a pure white sauce with like pepper in it. So we were down there. It's like, go ahead, dip it in there, see what happens. And I lost a bet where I had to be the first one to try it. And so I tell people it tastes like gritty chicken. I know most people say, oh, everybody goes to chicken. But just imagine somebody took chicken and they said, and they just
like sandpaper.
They grind it up as much as possible, and that's what it tasted like.
Gross.
And I was just like, yeah. And that was probably, those are the top 2 things that I've had that were just like, nah.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. Rocky Mountain oysters is what we call them on the East Coast, not in Dallas. And it was not great, but I ate one. I made it through it. I didn't throw up, but yeah, I made it through it.
It's definitely better than cereal, though.
Yeah, for me it is.
All right, everybody. That was the Chip Brierre version of Quick Ones. And before we get off of this bad boy, I got to say, first of all, Chip, I truly appreciate you coming on, my man.
Of course, man.
And before we go, I got to get, first of all, do you have any special projects going on? And if you do, tell us about them. And, of course, what legacy do you want to leave in the sports journalism world? Good
Lord, the latter question is deep.
Tough
Questions with Darrell
LegacyMaker,
Owens.
baby. You gotta get that legacy question in there at LegacyMaker. I have to give it.
I'm gonna tackle the first one because that's easier. Be on the lookout. I have my own YouTube channel that hasn't started yet, but I am gonna start posting videos probably in the next couple weeks or months. So just look up my name, Chip Brierre, on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I also am gonna start streaming again on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Chip Brierre_. So check me out in those places, whether you want to ask me questions about my sports journalism career, about the videos I post on YouTube, or just want to join me while I play Call of Duty or Fall Guys or something like that. I'll mainly just be chatting on Twitch, but just play some games and have some fun. Check me out in those places. But yeah, my YouTube channel is the one I really want to push people to, because I'm trying to help people grow their on-camera performance and stuff with journalism, tips and tricks, but also commenting on things that are going on in the world, whether it's, Lakers winning the championship or, ESPN's changing up their programming or something like that. So yeah, right. Chip Brierre on YouTube, go check it out, hit the subscribe button. You'll mainly just see my resume reels, but there'll be more videos coming soon.
Awesome.
And for the second question for my legacy, This is a deep question for me personally, because that's always been something I've grappled with my entire life and career. So I think I just want to be remembered as the guy from Richmond who set out to go and do what he wanted his way and had fun doing it, so the viewers had fun with him. That's not really specific, but that's always been my drive, is to be a guy from Richmond. I'm really proud of my hometown, to go out there, chase what he wanted to do, did it his way, had fun doing it, and the viewers had fun with him.
I just couldn't have said it better myself, my man. And Chip, once again, my man, I truly appreciate you coming on. Everybody, this is my man, Chip Brierre of Washington. I can't get my words out.
You're good, dude. Don't worry.
He is the host of The Beat for the Washington football team. And like he said, check him out on YouTube, because he's got a lot of good things coming up. I'm going to subscribe after this show, just in case I already have. I think I might already did. But if I didn't, I'm going to make sure I subscribe after this show. So make sure y'all hit him up. Once again, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. I'm Darrell Owens, LegacyMaker Sports Network. This is episode 29 of 101.
Welcome to the 101. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the 101. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one.